The Socrates warning, the only video women pray you never see. You have felt it, haven't you? That storm in her eyes you couldn't quite name. A sweetness that dulled the edge of your caution. A gaze that made you forget the very outline of your own sword. Brother, this isn't poetry. This is design. There exists a realm of knowledge that modern man has abandoned, not because it is false, but because it is too costly to truly know. Socrates did not avoid this knowledge. He walked directly into its fire. And what he discovered was not a hatred of women, but a profound truth about their nature that still stalks the soul of every man today. He warned, not with bitterness, but with fire-tempered reason, that where men are forged by the pursuit of clarity, women are often formed in layers of smoke. He didn't say this to degrade, but to awaken. For what is veiled cannot be trusted blindly, and what enchants must first be understood before it has the chance to devour you. The men of Athens laughed at him. The jurors condemned him to death, but he smiled in the face of their ignorance because he knew a fundamental truth. A man who understands a woman only as she appears and not as she functions is like a soldier seduced by the beautiful shimmer of his enemy's blade. It is both beautiful and fatal. Welcome to dating older women. If you are ready to stop kneeling and start standing in your own sovereignty, then do one thing right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because the journey we are about to take is not for the faint of heart. Today, we examine the Socratic warning. Pillar 1. The illusion of beauty. The test of perception. You were taught your entire life to look for beauty, but Socrates knew that beauty is the bait. What truly matters is the intention behind it. And this, he said, is where most men fail. You chase her form, and you forget her essence. You chase her touch, and you forget to study her patterns. You do not study, you simply fall. And when you fall, she does not catch you, not because she is cruel, but because nature has not designed her to. She selects, she tests, she adapts. But she does not build your foundation. That is your burden, your curse, and your crown. In the dialogues of Plato, Socrates dismantles the idea that what feels good is inherently good. He strips away the notion that validation, especially from a beautiful woman, is a measure of virtue. And what he exposes is chilling to the modern man. Your relentless pursuit of her approval is not noble. It is a symptom of your own forgotten purpose. You do not need her eyes on you. You need your soul to stand upright in the dark. Think of the ancient myth of Pygmalion. He was a master sculptor on the island of Cyprus, a man so disgusted with the perceived flaws and deceptions of real women that he chose to remain alone. Instead, he dedicated his genius to carving a statue of a woman from pure, white ivory. He poured all of his ideals of perfection into the stone. She was flawless, beautiful, and utterly under his control. He worked on her for months, and as he carved, he began to fall in love with his own creation. He named her Galatea. He would bring her gifts, dress her in fine robes, and whisper to her, as if she were real. He fell in love with a perfect, silent, compliant form. He worshipped an illusion. So deep was his longing that he prayed to the goddess Aphrodite, who, taking pity on him, brought the statue to life. Pygmalion got his wish. He married his perfect woman. But the story is a profound warning for every man. Pygmalion fell in love not with a person, but with an ideal he projected onto a beautiful form. This is the great trap that most men fall into. They see a beautiful woman, and they stop seeing her. They no longer observe her character, her actions, her virtues, her flaws. They project onto her the fantasy of the perfect woman. the Galatea in their own mind. They begin to worship a statue, and then they are shocked and broken when the real, complex human woman does not behave as their illusion dictates. Now consider a man from the modern world. Aristotle Onassis, the Greek shipping magnate. Onassis was not a handsome man. He was short, rough-featured, and years older than the women he pursued. By all superficial measures, he could not compete. Yet he became the lover and husband of two of the most desired women of the 20th century, the opera singer Maria Callas and the former First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy. How? Because Onassis never worshipped beauty. He understood that his own power, his ambition, his sovereign frame, and his command of reality were the true sources of his attraction. He did not approach beautiful women as a supplicant, hoping for their favor. He approached them as an equal or even a superior, inviting them into his world, a world of power and excitement that he had built himself. He did not chase their form. He was a force of nature that attracted their essence. He understood that a man's value is not in his face, but in the empire he builds, be it of business or of character. A man, Socrates said, must live an examined life. That examination must include your thoughts of her. It must include your needs, your weaknesses, your deepest longings. If these are not examined by you, she will see what you refuse to see in yourself, and she will use it, not maliciously, but necessarily. For just as the river does not hate the rock that it erodes, the woman does not hate the man she outmaneuvers. She is simply following her nature. But the real question is, are you following yours? Are you a Pygmalion, falling in love with a fantasy? Or are you an Onassis, building a reality so powerful that fantasy wants to become a part of it? Pillar 2. The nature of desire, the test of self-control. Socrates lived surrounded by men who misunderstood power. They thought it was found in votes, in silver, in applause. But he knew true power belongs to the man who cannot be deceived, especially by what he loves. The unexamined desire is the most dangerous force in a man's life. And nowhere is desire more camouflaged than in the realm of the feminine. It wears the mask of devotion. It sings like truth. It dances like destiny. But it answers to something deeper, something more ancient. Survival, selection, instinct. You call it love. Her biology often calls it timing. In Plato's dialogue, the Phaedrus, Socrates warns that love, if it is ungoverned by reason, becomes a form of madness. Divine, perhaps, but madness still. He tells us that the soul, pulled by lust, becomes like a wingless creature crawling in circles, obsessed with the source of its own appetite. How many men today now live in that desperate loop? How many men have sacrificed their mission, their values, their very sovereignty for what? A fleeting glance, a dopamine fix, a soft voice and a warm body. Think about your own life for a moment. Have you ever felt yourself sacrificing a long-term goal for a short-term pleasure? Let me know your experience in the comments below by simply writing mission first. You are not here to be devoured by the feminine. You are here to understand it. Consider the journey of Odysseus in Homer's Odyssey. He was a man of immense strength and cunning, but even he knew the devastating power of ungoverned desire. As his ship approached the island of the Sirens, mythical women whose enchanting songs lured sailors to their deaths, he didn't rely on willpower alone. He was wise enough to know he was not strong enough to resist. Instead, he took a rational, stoic approach. He ordered his men to plug their ears with beeswax so they could not hear the song. But he, the leader, wanting to understand the temptation, ordered them to tie him tightly to the mast of the ship. He told them that no matter how much he begged or screamed, they were not to release him. As they sailed past, Odysseus heard the siren's song. It was the most beautiful and seductive sound he had ever heard, promising him knowledge, pleasure, and glory. He was driven into a madness of desire, begging his men to untie him so he could swim to the shore and to his doom. But his reason, his planning, had been stronger than his impulse. His men, following his prior orders, only tied him tighter. He survived. Odysseus understood a truth that most modern men have forgotten. Your desires can be your deadliest enemies. You must not fight them with mere willpower in the moment of temptation. You must build a system of discipline, a metaphorical mast to which you tie yourself before the siren song ever begins. Now, consider a real historical example. In Plato's Symposium, a dialogue describing a banquet party of Athens's brightest minds, the famously beautiful and charming Alcibiades makes a dramatic drunken entrance. He openly declares his love and desire for Socrates. He then recounts a story of how he once tried to seduce the older philosopher. Alcibiades, a man who could have anyone he wanted, arranged to be alone with Socrates. He tried to trade his physical beauty for Socrates' wisdom. But Socrates, a man in complete control of his own desires, gently but firmly rejected him. Socrates showed Alcibiades that he was not interested in his body. He was only interested in the state of Alcibiades' soul. He had mastered his own appetite. He was not a slave to his body. This is what Socrates meant. He observed that while men often seek an abstract truth, women often seek alignment, not with truth, but with security. This is not an insult. It is a biological strategy. You must recognize it. She does not look for what is righteous. She often looks for what ensures survival, what reflects strength, status, and stability. Your intellect alone does not seduce her. Your ambition, your certainty, your command of your own reality, that does. Pillar 3. The reality of her nature. The test of understanding. Socrates believed the soul had 3 parts: reason, spirit, and appetite. The highest man lives a life where reason commands. But when appetite, be it sexual, emotional, or social, takes the lead, the man dissolves. He no longer leads. He follows. He follows not her, but his own hunger for her. You know these men. You have seen them. Men who have no light of their own, unless she decides to shine it on them. Men who kneel without asking what altar they are kneeling before. Men who would burn their own principles just to keep her warm for a night. And you, if you do not awaken, will be one of them. Socrates saw that women, by nature, are often more attuned to the present moment, to emotion, to safety, to the now. While men are cursed and blessed with the burden of the future, your mind stretches forward. Your soul aches for legacy. Your bones carry the weight of a vision. But that vision is costly, and the feminine offers you a beautiful, intoxicating way to forget it. It offers you a trade, your difficult, uncertain future, for her comfortable, warm, and peaceful present. It is the illusion of peace. You must not take that trade. Your peace must come from your own clarity, not from her compliance. Think of a great scientist like Charles Darwin. He spent decades of his life observing nature. He didn't get angry at the lion for eating the gazelle. He didn't judge the snake for its venom. He did not try to change nature. He simply studied it with dispassionate clarity, to understand its underlying laws. He respected its design, even its most brutal aspects. You must become a Darwin of human nature. Your job is not to wish she were different. It is not to resent her for her instincts. Your job is to understand her nature with the same clarity that a scientist studies the world. Look at the reign of Queen Elizabeth I of England. She was a woman surrounded by powerful, ambitious, and often treacherous men. She survived and thrived for over 40 years, not by being naive or romantic, but by being a ruthless student of human nature. She understood the vanities, the fears, and the desires of the men in her court. She knew who to flatter, who to intimidate, who to trust, and who to discard. She did not wish for men to be angels. She dealt with them as they were. You must adopt this same clarity. She will test your frame. She will test your conviction. She will mirror your own uncertainty back to you with alarming and painful precision. And if you do not master yourself, she will master you. Again, not with malice, but with exquisite, evolved instinct. Socrates taught us not to hate the world, but to interrogate it, not to fear the forces that confuse us, but to illuminate them with the light of reason. So, illuminate her, not with suspicion, but with understanding. She is not your anchor. She is the tide. Do you understand the difference? An anchor is meant to hold you in place. A tide is a powerful natural force that is always in motion, responding to larger, unseen forces. A wise sailor does not curse the tide. He studies it, he respects it, and he uses its power to navigate his own ship toward his own destination. Pillar 4. The unbreakable frame, the test of sovereignty. Socrates warned in silence more than in speech that a man's downfall does not come from the spear of an enemy, but from the desires he refuses to study. And no desire haunts a man more than the longing for the feminine mystery he does not understand. The tragedy of the modern man is not that he needs her. It's that he doesn't know why he needs her. And in that blindness, he makes her into a god, and then blames her when she doesn't perform miracles. The truth is, she was never meant to complete you. She was designed to test you. She cannot love what she does not respect, and she does not respect what she can control too easily. Socrates saw harmony not as an equality of nature, but as each soul in its rightful order. A woman does not truly want to lead you. She wants to feel safe under your confident direction. But when you abdicate that post, when you make her emotions your compass, her approval your mirror, and her affection your prize, you cease being a man and become a satellite in her orbit. She may keep you around, but not because she wants to, but because it is convenient. And one day, convenience always expires. The world is filled with men who thought they could win her love by worshipping her. But love is not won through worship. It is won through sovereignty. Consider the story of Cato the Younger, a fierce Roman Stoic and a political rival of Julius Caesar. Caesar, a master of manipulation, tried everything to break Cato's frame. At one point, seeking a political alliance, Caesar offered Cato a marriage tie to his family. To any other man, this would have been an incredible honor, a path to immense power and wealth. But Cato was not any other man. He was sovereign over his own soul. He saw the offer not as an opportunity, but as a bribe, an attempt to weaken his principles and bring him into Caesar's orbit. He refused, flatly and publicly. He was willing to make an enemy of the most powerful man in Rome rather than bend his own frame. He could not be bought. He could not be controlled. This is an unbreakable frame. Think of yourself as the captain of a ship in a storm. The waves are crashing, her emotions, her tests. The wind is howling, external pressures. The crew is panicking, your own anxieties. A weak captain will start panicking with the crew, looking at the waves and losing all hope. His frame breaks. The ship is lost. But a sovereign captain holds his frame. He does not deny the existence of the storm. He acknowledges it, but his eyes are fixed on the compass, on the map, on his destination. His calm is what gives the crew hope. His steady hand on the wheel is what keeps the ship afloat. He is the unshaken center of the chaos. This is what a woman is subconsciously testing for. When she raises her voice, do you crumble? When she withholds her affection, do you grovel? When she threatens to leave, do you lose your own direction? These are not arguments. These are examinations. And every time you fail, she loses a little more faith. Not because you are unworthy, but because you have shown her that your kingdom is made of sand. She cannot trust a man who needs her more than he needs himself. If this particular truth resonates with you, if you understand the profound power of self-respect, do me a favor and hit the like button right now. It tells the algorithm that this is a message more men need to hear. Pillar 5. The path of the unshaken man, the ultimate virtue. The pain you feel in these tests is not punishment. The pain is an invitation to rise, to refine, to become the man who can love without losing himself, who can lead without dominating, who can feel without falling apart. This is not stoicism in the empty, emotionless sense. This is sovereignty. It is the masculine essence stripped of its addiction to approval. It is the soul of Socrates, calm, composed, and impossible to control. And that, brother, is the beginning of a love that does not enslave, but liberates. You were not made to kneel at the altar of affection. You were made to stand at the gates of truth and guard them with your life. This is what Socrates taught, not with slogans, but with sacrifice. In his final moments, having been sentenced to death, he chose that death over dishonor. He chose silence over compromise. He chose truth over comfort. And what is that truth for you today? It is this: you must not fear her nature, nor seek to rewrite it. You must master your own. The woman is not the battlefield. She is the mirror. She is the test. She is the tension that reveals your own fault lines. And most men fail because they were never taught that the feminine is not here to complete your soul. She is here to challenge it. If you embrace that, she becomes the forge that strengthens you. If you resist it, she becomes the flame that burns you down to ash. Consider the life of Epictetus. He was a man who lived this truth every day. Born a slave, physically crippled, owning nothing, he endured a life of hardship that would break most modern men in an instant. But Epictetus was one of the freest men in all of history. His freedom was not external, it was internal. He understood that while his master could chain his body, no one could chain his mind. His will, his judgments, his character, these were his and his alone. He did not seek happiness in comfort or in the approval of his masters. He forged his happiness in the fires of his own disciplined mind. He became an unshaken man. His wholeness was so powerful that after he was freed, emperors and senators would come to him for advice. They, who had everything, came to the man who had nothing, seeking the one thing he possessed that they lacked: an unconquerable inner peace. Do not ask her to be simpler. You must become wiser. Do not ask her to stay. You must become the man she does not want to leave. Do not ask her to soothe your wounds. You must heal yourself so deeply that your scars become your scripture. Let them call you cold. Let them call you distant. Let them say you are too detached. These are the cries of a world that fears men who cannot be bent. Because such men do not obey trends. They do not fall to temptation. They do not sell their soul for a kiss. They stand. Not because standing is easy, but because falling is no longer an option. And in that stance, you become a beacon. So I ask you now, which of these Socratic pillars resonated with you the most? Which illusion are you now ready to let go of? Share your commitment in the comments below. This message isn't for the masses. It's for the few, the seekers, the builders, the kings, without crowns, who haven't forgotten the fire. If you felt the weight of these words, the single best thing you can do is share this video with another man who needs to hear it. Let this message echo. Hit the like button if you found value, subscribe to Dating Older Women if you haven't already, and leave a comment with your biggest takeaway. The world doesn't need louder men, it needs clearer ones. Be that man and walk forward, unshaken.